get really scared when you just hear them fighting and arguing.
Somebody might pull a gun out, probably shoot.
Can you please stop fighting?
When you got to the safe house, did you have to worry about fighting and yelling?
No.
Why not?
Because it was safe.
I think it's a nice place because the people who are there to watch over you.
We got married in that April, and he moved down like 2 days later to the home that I had already. And it was 6 months into the marriage that I got slapped.
The last 2 years of being married, I was facing sort of a emotional and a physical abuse situation. It was hard for me to really face the fact I was going through it. I was trapped, and I just wanted out of it.
I'm a single divorced parent of 2 teenage daughters, age 17 and 19. I was married for 18 years. My ex-husband has been a stalker for the last 2 years. We've been divorced for 5.
I remember going to calling the police station and asking if there was anything for abuse or women's on trouble, and they gave me this number. And when I called them, I just feel this relief. I just feel this like, we are here for you, to help you, and just to tell you that you are not alone. It was very warm feeling. I mean, after the phone call, I really wanted to meet them.
I couldn't go back home, and I couldn't go anywhere else because I was afraid for my family and my friends. I didn't want anyone to know because I was already embarrassed. I would have wrecked my entire life if I had not had the Women's Resource Center and the safe house at that time, because I didn't need to go far, but I needed to have somewhere to go that I knew that my friends and my family wouldn't get hurt.
And when I first opened the door, I could not believe the warmth I felt in the rooms. I mean, literally, it was like walking into Grandma's house. It was so tastefully decorated. Everybody I saw had a smile on their face and seemed very, very concerned about helping me with whatever I needed before they even knew what I needed. They've been very, very supportive. I needed a restraining order, and they helped me fill out the forms. They even told me what room to go to, in what building, and what judge to talk to. And then they explained the whole legal process. And it was then that I learned that the Women's Resource Center also offered counseling, because I was very concerned about my daughters. My daughters were definitely daddy's girls, and they were in some distress knowing that he was threatening to kill me. I didn't want to destroy their love for him, but I wanted some healing to start.
When you get through a situation that is emotional or physical abuse, your inside, your self-confidence, your believing about yourself as a person is just so low. And I think the Women's Resource Center, what they do is that help you to build you up again, to believe in yourself. I know they provide a shelter, they provide a 24-hour line, they provide legal advice, they help people in jail. I mean, there is a extensive growth of services that the Women's Resource Center provide. But for me, what I think is one of the strongest is that they help you from the inside out.
When women arrive at the Women's Resource Center, they come in all different stages of the process of coming to terms with their abuse. Some women are still with their abusers, some women have just left, some women left 20 years ago. When we come together, we create an atmosphere where they feel comfortable to share their stories or not.
Oftentimes we cannot fix her situation for her. Oftentimes When she calls our crisis line, it isn't about us making a decision for her, but rather it's about someone that is not directly involved in their immediate situation, providing an ear for them, exploring options for her to help her make a decision, an informed decision for herself.
We are not rescuers. We don't wear, capes and leap from buildings and go in and, make everything all right. I mean, the women do that. The women can do that. The women want to do that. And so what they really want from us most of the time is someone who can support them on that journey. And that, I think, is what we're really good at.
The goal of Women's Resource Center is to provide options and choices so that little by little, plank by plank, we are building that bridge so that we can walk beside her and provide her the emotional support for her to get from where she is now to where she wants to be.
I have a new perspective on things. I have the tools I need when I'm feeling lost, frustrated, stupid, crazy, whatever. The Women's Resource Center has provided me with confidence that I can make it, with a support group that I can call 24/7.
The day that I decided, it was in June, I'm gonna ride my motorcycle. I know how to ride, I'm gonna get on it by myself. The group I started riding with needed a charity that year, and I was new to the group, so I didn't know what they had been doing in the past. And I suggested giving back to the Safe House. We were able to raise a significant amount of money just by passing the hat. We had about 3 or so vehicles of clothing and food item type things that got donated back to the shelter.
I am volunteering to help another women. Why? Because it's not because they told me, Millie, you want to volunteer. No, it's just because I feel that the same impact they have in my life is like a way to say thank you.
Because women are on such a journey and everybody gets something different at a different time, I feel like we're just kind of part of that continuum, of that journey that she's on. This work that I'm doing is actually part of my own transformation. It's about really changing our community, changing the world so that it becomes safer for every woman and girl.
Women's Resource Center is a social change organization because our work is never going to be done until there's no more domestic violence. There are people in Atlanta who really want to make a difference. They want to know, how can I impact the lives of women and children? How can I stop something like domestic violence from continuing? We need to tell them how they can create change by volunteering, by becoming a donor, by standing up in their own lives and saying, I won't tolerate violence.
What happens out in the community is just as critical as the work that we do here within the Women's Resource Center. We all have to get on the same page about how we're going to bring an end to domestic violence.